Hi everyone. I was just checking my mailbox and I found one of these, Myers and McRae. It's my second one I've gotten in my mailbox. I'm sure you've seen the signs around. They really want to protect our children and they are conservative, not crazy. Okay, that sounds really great. These women have been the trustees already in our libraries for a while now. And what you guys may or may not know is we have an election on May 16th to vote in new trustees. Because for the last year and a half, we have been dealing with extremely obscene material we are finding in our children's section of our library. Obscene meaning very, very descriptive acts of heterosexual sex, oral sex, rape, suicide, fantasizing about these things. It's not just real life stories trying to give a perspective to a teenager to help them get real. No, these go a little bit farther. They're 65 pages to describe one sexual act after another in such detail that you just can't help putting yourself into the imagination of this scene. Now, what's the point of that? Well, I'm sure there's plenty of you adults that have read romance novels and things like that, and they get pretty descriptive in there. It's kind of like watching an R-rated movie, and that's a lot of this content that we're finding. It would actually be rated XXX if we were to put it in a movie. Now, we know that pornography cannot be distributed to minors. We know that if I were to actually read these books that are in our children's section of the library to children in the public, I would be arrested and charged with giving pornography to children. But because of the way that our library is set up with laws, they've been able to actually get away with that and not have to be accountable to that sort of law. We've been asking the libraries to let's figure out a way where we can move these books. Because, see, we're not asking to ban them. We don't want to burn them. We would like them to not be accessible to our children. And if a parent wants their children to be able to read it, or if a child wants to be able to read it, they can get the approval of their parent to go get it. Just like an R-rated movie, you would need your parents' permission and presence to be there to watch it. So that doesn't seem so crazy, right? Because on this flyer it says conservative, not crazy, but she's talking about me. She's talking about my friends who are fighting this and have had to fight this for over a year and a half with nothing being done about it. Surprisingly enough, nobody wants to admit that this material is even in the libraries. They've lied to us. They've said, no, we don't have obscene material in our children's section, when we found over 300 copies of books with not just, Johnny made out with Cindy under the bench. I'm talking XXX stuff. And not just romantic stuff. Fantasy suicide stuff. Really dark things that they're putting into very vulnerable minds. And as a parent, I can't go in there, read every single book, find every single book, and prevent my child ahead of time. I want to trust that my libraries are a safe place for my children to go to. That doesn't sound crazy to me. And I don't think it sounds crazy to the majority of the community that has been making their voice heard for over a year and a half to these library trustees. And they are so serious as to fight us tooth and nail for anything. They will not give 1 inch of these things. I just gotta wonder why. Why lie about the content being in our libraries? And why fight us so hard to do a simple thing? Just makes me wonder. It just doesn't seem like they are agenda free and serving everyone, like Judy Meyer is saying. It seems like the majority of the community has made their voice heard because your taxpayers pay for the library and the books that are there. And so we believe in the librarians and the trustees being accountable for that money, where it's being spent, and what content is being shared in our libraries. Now, if we were a town that all agreed, you know what, whatever, have it in there. We want our kids to read this. Then that would be one thing. But we're not. And we've made that very clear as a whole. It's not just a small group of us that feel this way. It is the majority. So, that being said, don't believe their lies. We've had enough lying from politicians. I am so sick of it. If we want to change what's going on in our communities and in our country and prevent ending up like California or Seattle, Washington, which is right next door, we need to start at the local level, which means get out and vote. I never knew this until 2 years ago. But now I realize that simple solutions to complicated issues are the way to making big change. So we can start on May 16th. Vote May 16th, and do not vote for these women. Vote for the men, Tim and Tom. It's easy to remember. TNT. These men are the only hope we have of getting anything done in the library. And like I said, we don't want to ban books. We don't want to burn books. We want to create a system that makes it so that I can send my child to the library and feel comfortable that they're not going to be indoctrinated, traumatized, or attacked by this sexualization of the children that seems to be running rampant. So if you made it this long, thank you so much. I hope you guys are blessed and have an amazing spring day today. Enjoy your families. And remember, please vote May 16th. We love you. Bye.